all the bears that died this morning. Hello Adrian, it is 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8 and welcome once again to another episode of The Dang Oracle. Hope you are well, and welcome once again everybody who is joining the show. Let's wait a few seconds before some of our hardcore members, not really members, viewers are coming up. Hi Vahe, hi Nikolai, hi Adam, hi Sendor, hi Joe. How's everybody doing today? Hope you had a wonderful day. Hi Cedric, hi Mongol, hi Sunday. It's not Sunday, but hi Sunday. So let's first, hi Darren, let's first go into some COVID numbers and see how the situation is around the world. While everybody is coming in. Hi, Alvin. So we are over 1.8 million people now in the United States, and Brazil and Russia still, well, over 500,000 for Brazil. Russia near the 500,000, and all the top in the top 6 countries, close to 300,000. Hi, Jay. Let's take a look how it looks on the chart. Let's take a look on the chart. Hi Didi, hi Hitchem. We are now at close to 6. Hi Gita, 6.3 million people who have confirmed cases. USA starting to slow down though. You see Brazil still pointed up. Russia still pointing very, very, very high up. UK, Spain, and Italy are starting to slow down, but UK is still in a pretty bad situation. Let's put it like that. So all of that is pretty much the same as yesterday, but what is not the same as yesterday is our Bitcoin, of course. But before we go into that, let's go through some quickly on some news first, because I realized that yesterday I didn't go through any news at all or anything like that. So normally I do it on Monday, but let's do it on a Tuesday instead. Hi Nipsey, yes, we're going to the moon. It is moon time. So let's go into first episode will be what is it? Here. So we have testing problems apparently in the US. So even though the US has a lot of confirmed cases, apparently only 2.5% of the total US population has been tested for COVID-19 so far as of May 9. So hi Jack. So although a lot of tests have been done and a lot of cases have been confirmed, actually we are only at 2.5% of the population that has been tested for the COVID virus, and I think that's a horrible, that's a horrible number, right? Because we all assume that the US has the most amount of tests, the most amount of cases, but apparently it's still only 2.5% of the population, of the total population. So yeah, most likely there's way more cases than other. So let's go to South America, which is Brazil. Brazil has the highest default ratio since last July, and that's a very big problem, of course. As you know, because of the lockdown, because of the economic problems. Well, economics problems in the real world, but not economic problems in the stock market or in the cryptocurrency market or in those markets, let's put it like that. But yeah, as you can see, loans are being defaulted. People don't have money to pay back their mortgages, their loans that they've been doing. So yeah, a lot of issues and a lot of problems there. So like I said, no issues in the stock market, no in investment, but apparently loans, they cannot be paid back, and yeah, a lot of more and more people are defaulting, and yeah. The amount of outstanding loans in Brazil held a steady 59 trillion reais. It's about 670 billion US dollars That is the amount of loans that the people are having right now, and apparently they are starting to defaulting and not paying back their loans. So eventually, like I said, eventually that is going to be causing a big problem. Hi Fortuito, BTC to the moon. Maybe, who knows, right? Most likely. I mean, it's looking good, but it looked really good after the monthly close already, right? So that was, like I said, our first domino, like a little domino stone, and we'll be going over Bitcoin in a while. Just relax, guys, relax. And then let's go into Europe. So in Europe, we can clearly see now that Sweden has the highest confirmed death rate per million people. So Sweden is number 1, then Brazil, then UK, then US, Italy, and then Germany, as you can see. So the highest amount of deaths per million in Sweden. And as you know, Sweden is one of those countries who did not go for a lockdown or anything like that. They basically told everybody to just go as is. They had a different approach for the COVID situation. No lockdown, just, you know, do as usual, and we will most likely all get it, and then, you know, get it over with, and then eventually it will work out. But right now, obviously, that approach is starting to bite them in the ass, because the amount of deaths are actually the highest confirmed right now in Sweden. So yeah, maybe that strategy wasn't as good. Only time will tell, basically. Only time will tell, and it's still a guessing game. So we can't really say that some methods are better or some approaches are better, but or not. But as we can see, in countries where they are not doing any lockdowns, like Sweden, like Brazil, the highest amount of death rates. And I think it's kind of logical as well. If you're not doing anything against the virus, then of course the most amount of deaths will happen as well. But is this going to be a better strategy for in the long run or not? We still don't have enough data about that, of course. Then let's go to Asia to finish it off. And in Asia, Pompeo, who is the Secretary of State, he reported that Hong Kong is now no longer autonomous from China. So basically all the trade wars or all the trade blocks between the US and China is before it didn't affect Hong Kong, because they considered Hong Kong obviously not part of China, like autonomously. The economy is autonomous, but now no longer. They want to basically put Hong Kong as well as in the same position as China. So yeah, that is definitely going to be affecting the economy in Hong Kong for sure, if those trade penalties are going to be put on Hong Kong as well from the US. So yeah, more threats in the economy, more issues in the economy, more problems in the economy. But meanwhile, we see this. Let's go for Nasdaq, because it's such a beautiful chart. Meanwhile, we see this. We see this beautiful V-shaped correction, and we are back, baby. We are back. This is a V-shaped correction. We are going to the moon, and most likely we're gonna break all-time high. So if this was our all-time high before, most likely with all the money printing and so on, we are most likely going to be breaking all-time high. And for the people who still don't believe that we have some sort of like correlation between Nasdaq and Bitcoin, for example, let's put our Bitcoin chart on this, and then you will see what I mean. I'll reload this chart first, because people are still thinking like, yes, it's all of this is not correlated towards Bitcoin, but I'll show you. Let's go back to our Nasdaq futures. And then up. So this is our chart. I'll put it on a line chart, so it's and remove a little bit all of this for a while, so we can see it a little bit better. And then we will put a comparison with BTC used. What's used? Okay, there. Maybe put it in a different color, right? And then we can see it's in a different color, maybe. The line, we will put it in maybe yellow. Okay, that's better, isn't it? So, let's put it like this. So yellow is Nasdaq, and blue is Bitcoin. And well, if you don't see the correlation, then most likely something is wrong with your eyes. That's basically what I'm thinking. So as you can see, while Nasdaq is rallying, Bitcoin is basically rallying. When Nasdaq is dropping, well, Bitcoin is basically dropping. When Nasdaq is rallying, and guess what? Bitcoin is rallying. So if people don't believe that there is correlation between Nasdaq and the Bitcoin chart, well, there you have it. You can just show this chart, and yeah, that's what we mean with correlation, right? It's just in a macro trend. It is just basically following what the stocks are doing. So my perception of Bitcoin is still the same as always. I consider Bitcoin some sort of like an altcoin of the stock market, and I know it's not a very popular viewpoint. A lot of people are hating it when I'm saying stuff like that. No, we are not correlated to the stock market. We are a hedge. No, we're not a hedge. We're doing exactly the same thing as the stock market. So if the stock market goes up, then it's good for Bitcoin, and that's what a lot of people are hating. I mean, most of the Bitcoin maximalists, they are hating that when people like me tell that we are not a hedge right now. We want to become a hedge, and when the economy goes down, but right now we are not. Right now we are just basically being a very good boy and following the big trillion dollar market, or the stock market, and that's just a plain fact. And for people who are still not believing it, well, it's right here, guys. It's just right here. Anyways, so let's go into our favorite and our beloved Bitcoin, of course. Let's go back 1 second. Let me put all of these indicators back for myself. Okay, thank you. Okay, anyways, so let's go back immediately to yesterday. What happened, right? So yesterday what happened was, let's go back to our 4-hour time chart. So what did I tell you guys? Well, we were in a position and a short at the 9.6k area, which is around, where was it? Here, around here on a Friday. That was my short position. I told you guys that I would I would hold it for another day, but if it hits on 9.7k, I would just take my loss, take my hit, and call it a day. And then, but also, what did I tell you? If we are breaking the 9.8k, I would be very not attached to my position at all or anything like that, and I would switch it into a long. And where would I take my profits? Around the 10.4k or my green box that I've made a long time ago on the top side. And what did the price do? It went broke the 9.8k, went to and touched the 10.4k or the green box up here. So for the people that are hating me, most likely there's a lot of haters in the world, that's what I mean when I am saying we can do all the technical analysis in the world that you can do. You will be right, and sometimes you will be wrong. You will be wrong plenty of times as well. But the most important thing is to always have a backup plan. Not only a backup plan, like basically a plan B when things are not going towards the way that you are expecting it would go. So did I make money? I made plenty of money this morning while I am my position was a short at 9.6k. Because why? Because in the point of view of a trader, you must have a backup plan, right? So I lost my $100 spread with my 9.6k short, closed it at 9.7, then made 400 spread when it went from 9.8 to 10.4. So overall, I made a profit of $300 spread, which is fine by me, like I'm a happy panda. And that's that's the thing that a lot of people or a lot of traders don't understand. That is, when we are making these sort of master plans and beforehand, there's always a secondary plan. There's always a secondary plan. If you don't have a secondary plan, then you're gonna have a lot of issues or a lot of problems. And I think this is the perfect example. If you've been watching the past, let's say 7 videos or something like that, my master plan was to always have a short in my mind, because I thought like, you know, volume was not there. And if we were looking at the volume indicators, and we're gonna go through the volume indicators a little bit later on, volume was actually going down, so there was no volume to be breaking up. So in terms of like technical analysis, I'm pretty sure the technical analysis was right. But like I always say, always say as well, the market does what the market wants to do, right? You cannot control the market. So maybe the probabilities are higher, but it's never 100%. And if because of that, because it's never 100%, you always have to have a backup plan, right? And the backup plan was right there. I told you guys, if it was going to be breaking out of this triangle or above the let's say 9.8k to be sure, you know, because it can always wick, right? So I said after 9.8k, I'll just, you know, I'm not emotionally attached to it, and I'll just long it and take my profits at the 10.4k or the upper green box that we have made. And if you don't believe me, then you can just rewatch the past 6-7 videos. That was always there. You know, that was always there. And that's what I mean when people are doing technical analysis. They tend to be very biased and very narrow-minded, and then they're saying like, oh, he was wrong. He was saying that it was going to go down and price went up, and then they're pissed off. But that's not what I said. I said the probabilities are higher for me to that it would be going down, but there's always a chance that it goes up. And what was my secondary or my backup plan? If this would go the wrong way, then I would just switch it over into a long. That's basically what I said, and that's what I did. And at the end of the day, even though my bias was incorrect, that it was going to be going down first before going up, I still make money as a trader, right? And that's basically what I'm always trying to explain to people. But it's very hard for people to understand that, to accept that those kind of movements. That's the problem with a lot of people. They just want to hear or understand one thing at all, one thing at the time. They cannot handle it when you are saying, well, it could go up $200 and it could go down $200. Their mind just explodes when they hear something like that. They're just saying like, what the fuck is this bullshit? You know, that's basically what they're saying. But yeah, sometimes the market is going to be doing what the market wants to do, right? And you can't do anything against it. But so what did I tell you guys yesterday? Well, on Sunday, on Monday, I told you guys that monthly bullish candle, monthly candle close was very, very important, and that basically did change a macro trend. It did change a macro trend. And then what I told you guys was to take a look when the daily close this morning, when the daily close for the 3-day chart. So let's take a look on the 3-day chart. And I told you guys what I'm looking for is the Stokes, if it would be curling up or curling down, right? So do you think Overstock will go big on a bull run if Bitcoin does? They well, you know, with T0 and Overstock, they're very correlated. I agree, but yeah, you know, it's what I mean. It's like if the main show is going up, then everything is going to be following, maybe in a lesser amount, but most of it is going to be following, right? So that's basically it. Hey Prashant, Prashant is always bullish. You were bullish. Anyways, let's go. Hi Henry. Let's go to the 3-day chart. What was I saying? So basically this, right? So was this going to be a curling up or curling down? And that's basically what I was looking at for my position this morning. And when I saw that it basically curled up, that just basically told me that I was kind of doomed with my short. And then what happened was, of course, my stop loss hit in the morning, and then you know, and the rest is history, right? The rest is history. We are up here, and I told you guys this green box is already here. And then what is the next green box? Well, I've told you guys that actually before already. This is here. It's around the 11.5k, which is our previous high on a previous top here, right? So we did something very, very important, which was going back to the 10.5k area here, because we got rejected here plenty of times. So yeah, our next, if we manage to be, let's say, wick up above this high here. So what's that price? 10,550. So if we go above 10,550, we will most likely move all the way towards 11.5. So that's around a $1,000 move. So because as you can see here, there is absolutely nothing, right? There's absolutely nothing. There's nothing stopping the price. So if the price is able to move just above this previous price of 10,550, then I see the price not stopping, and I see the price going all the way towards 11.5k, somewhere around there, around that area. So, but first, it has to get to above that 10,550 first, right? So, never think that it will immediately happen when, you know, when things, like I said, we can all make all the probabilities in the world, but obviously we are quite bullish right now because we broke out of this triangle that we've been forming for a while, and if we make a measured move from this point to this point of this triangle, so a little bit like this, we can see that a measured move would be from this breakout around here. Oh, let's make it straight. So it would be around 11,150, and like I said, since there is very little resistance, I do believe that we'll most likely be going all the way to 11.5. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be anything less than that. I'm pretty confident. If we wick above this previous high, I think nothing is stopping the Bitcoin price towards this area. But we have to go above 10,550 first. Okay, so where am I at? Well, I'm currently in a short from 10.4k. Why am I in a short? Well, if you watched the video yesterday, you've seen me talk about this indicator already. You've seen me talk about this indicator already, which is the Hurst cycle oscillator, and the Hurst cycle oscillator is showing us, yes, toppy, basically toppy. So when we entered that green box of 10.4k, I closed my long, but I also switched it into a short because first of all, if we take a look at the RSI at that point, RSI was severely super high. So, you know, it was for me an automatic short, basically. So I'm currently in a short from 10.4k, somewhere like that. And where do I expect the price to be going? Well, usually what happens is when we break out of some sort of big resistance, and this is a very big resistance around the 9.8k, usually price slowly goes back towards that zone where it broke off and then takes a leg up higher. That's basically what I am expecting, right? So where am I going to be closing my short right now? Well, most likely around let's say 9.9k, something like that, a little bit above, to be sure that we don't, you know, get people who are FOMOing in and buying buying Bitcoin immediately. But yeah, somewhere around 999 or 9850, something like that. That's what I'm expecting price to slowly be going down here. And then most likely, if we don't break this support zone, most likely we'll be going up and break this 10,550 and most likely be going towards our 11.5k area. That's basically what I'm expecting. Do I expect a retest of the 9.5k area? It's possible. So if we do go down, I would expect us to go down all the way to around 9.4k area, which is this order block here or something like that. So this order block here, and that would make sense because the EMA 21 is there. Usually what happens is we always go back to the EMA 21 at some point, but I don't think that this is the point just yet, because the problem is we just broke out of this very long formed triangle, and we basically have a lot of FOMO and a lot of power after we've broke up here, and I don't think it will retrace that hard. That's basically what my opinion is right now. Usually, when we accumulate it for because this is an accumulation phase, we accumulated this much usually, and we only broke this small amount out of this triangle. Usually, it won't go down that much. That's basically what usually happens. So I do expect something like this slowly, some sort of like a bull flag once again, and then our trip towards 11.1k, 11.5k area, something like that, basically. Yeah. When I stop loss, how do you switch to a long manual? No, actually, in this case, I actually put it automatically. So what I've done was I've put my stop loss at 9.7, and I put my my long at 9.8 basically. So it was automatic. So I didn't have to do anything this morning. Just when I woke up, I was like, God damn it, my stop loss hit. And then when it pumped, I was like, yay. that's all. And then I shorted it at the 10.4k and switched it over. Basically, my 10.4k, I just took profits. And I put an order that was higher than my amount that my position that it was in, and then it automatically switches over into a short, right? Because it was higher than my closing position. So yeah, like I said, that's the reason why I don't think that we would be going that much lower. We're still holding up, as you can see, very, very strongly above 10k. So yeah, I do think that that will be most likely heading for another leg up. So what I wanted to do is I know that there's some fans of the Elliott wave theory here, so I actually did some Elliott waves for today. So here, okay. So this is basically most likely a 5-wave impulse wave structure, and I've made the subwaves already. So if people don't know and or understand what the Elliott waves work, is basically you have 5 waves, and every wave is divided by subwaves. And for example, this first main wave is divided by 5 subwaves, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have a correction, which is an ABC correction, in this case, ABC down. Once again, we have and that forms our second main wave. And then we have our third main wave, which is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a correction ABC down, which makes our fourth wave. And I do believe that we still have a 5th wave, which is ongoing right now, and I do believe that our top at the 10.5k ish area, well, 10.4 or something, was only our first, and I think we have a small correction right now towards our second wave, and if we make a Fibonacci retracement level, we can kind of guess it a little bit what our second wave would be. So if we make a 0.5 Fib correction, then it would be the 9.5k area, what Nikolai is saying, but I don't think we will get that far. I think we will have something between 0.23 or 0.328 basically, because like I said, momentum is on our side, and most likely is what I'm thinking. What would the ABC? Well, yeah. So what the Elliott waves theory says is after 5 waves we get a full correction of the total 5 waves. So if we make a Fib correction from the total 5 waves, and if we get to around the area that we're thinking, let's say we get to like 11, let's say 11.7 to put a number, and then you can see here that our corrections towards first Fib would be 9.2, 8k, 7.1k, 6.3k. So for the people that are in the FOMO mode right now and thinking that we are not going to be making any corrections or strong corrections, they will be most likely be wrong. Let's put it like that. So you don't have to be so concerned or worried. Like I get a lot of messages from people who are saying, Bitcoin is now above 10K already. Is it too late to buy or anything like that? No, Bitcoin is such a crazy thing that during bull phases, bull markets, it even gets 30 to 40% corrections. It's a normal thing. So it's quite possible that it goes to like 12K and then it just drops down to like 8K. It's very possible, and actually quite likely, to be honest. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there when it gets there. So for me and for the people that are scared that they missed out on the train, you shouldn't be too worried. But anyways, what I do believe is if we managed to go to towards the 11.5 or 11 point, between 11.5 and 11 and 12K. Sorry, if we get somewhere there, I'm macro very bullish. Macro very bullish, meaning after a big correct, most likely we'll get a very big correction there at the 11.5. It's very likely because it's a two-year resistance. So yeah, most likely we'll get a very big correction there. We'll most likely go down, what I'm thinking, 8K, 8.5K or something like that. That's what I'm thinking from 11.5 to 8.5K. So scare the shit out of people, but basically still make a higher low. That's basically what Bitcoin likes to do. Put a scary higher low. And for people who don't understand what I mean, we can go to our weekly chart. So as you can see here, this was our low at 3,000, and then we basically made a higher low here at 3,600, right? So after the completion, let's say we go all the way to around here, most likely we'll just go down all the way down and create another higher low, something like that, right? So let's say something like this. And then we continue our bull run, right? We continue our bull run. That's what usually happens. So even if Bitcoin crashes back down to like 8.5K or something like that, I would not, it's just a standard. It's just what Bitcoin does. So for people who are worried that they missed out on the train and cannot buy Bitcoin anymore at like a cheap price or something like that, well, you won't be getting this price anymore. That's quite sure that you won't be getting that price anymore. But yeah, it will make these 30 to 40% corrections. But yeah, like I said, we'll get there when we get there, right? So right now, if we can see here, Metcalf's is at 5,300 something. So it will obviously keep going up while the network is growing. So, but at one point, it will just go down back to the fair value at one point. So you just have to be very patient, and at one point the people will be again giving up on Bitcoin and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and the cycle continues. But right now, the amount of greed and the amount of greed is just insanely high right now. So everybody is very greedy right now, and then, like I said, at one point it's going to make a huge correction. Anyways, so back to our Elliott waves theory. So yeah, I've made a 5-wave guesstimate because you can't really make a sure thing on Elliott waves. Tina, I don't think so. I don't think it will go back to 3.5, but there's always a possibility, right? So the probability is now a lot lower because we are so high right now, right? When you're very high, the probability is just a lot lower that we go back down to there. But even I'm just saying, even if we go back down there, eventually we'll most likely be going back up again once again, right? So that's how Bitcoin is, and that's how Bitcoin works. So but if we get a complete crash of the economy, like literally a complete crash, people, yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? Yeah. That's right, Nikolai. 3.5K. There is still a CME gap there. Anyways, talking about the gaps, I've told you guys, there's two gaps that never got filled. One was between 11.6 to 11.8 on the CME chart. So 11.8 is around 11.7, 11.7-ish, something like that on the spot chart. So that's one of the reasons that I think that we are going to be filling that little gap, CME gap, in the next coming week or so, week or 2 weeks or something like that. It's very possible, and that's what this green box is representing, right? If we get there, then that gap is going to be filled. I'm quite bullish, but things have gone wrong many times before already. I just take it from box to box. Like I said, I do think that we will most likely be heading back here to this box. Are we going to have a strong support? And then we will most likely be going to the moon. It's also possible that we slowly go down back to the 9.4K or something like that, scare some people out of their position, and then from this spot going back up. That's very possible as well. But when will I be, of course, starting to be bearish, more bearish again, is when we are going to be breaking below 9.3K, right? If we are breaking, once again, this EMA 21 is the golden indicator. If we are breaking below and closing candles below the EMA 21, then very quickly it will go back to below 9K very, very, very quickly, right? So, but right now, as long as all the price is above all the major moving indicators, we can't be bearish, right? And that's something that I also kept saying, right? We can't be bearish if things are still above all moving averages, but that doesn't mean that we cannot have some small pullbacks on local tops, which is what I do believe. This is a local top for now. Do I think that we won't be breaking? I do think that we'll be breaking towards, like I said in the Elliott wave theory, towards that 11.5K. To be honest, it's between 11.5 and 12K, because if we look at the previous high, we can clearly see here, it's really something like this, between 11.5 to 12K, basically somewhere around there that we can end. But I'm just putting it around here because lower risk, let's put it like that. We shouldn't be too greedy, because at that zone, is a horrible zone, right? There's a horrible zone. Why is it a horrible zone? I'll show it to you guys once again, because we got rejected here at 11.5K here. We got here rejected here. We got rejected here. We got rejected here. It's a huge resistance once again. But if we manage to break above 11.5K, the moon is probably going to be insane. So I would be incredibly bullish if we are breaking 11.5K, or I mean starting to close positions above 11.5K. I mean, not just a wick or anything like that, but if we start closing candles above 11.5K, I would be insanely bullish. And then we're talking about 14,000, 16,000, and even 20,000 in the long run. I mean, I don't see anything stopping Bitcoin at that point. If once again, if we manage to start closing candles above 11.5K, then I will turn into a Super Bowl. Then you can call me a moon boy. But until that happens, I'm still just me. That's basically it. So I don't want to get too carried away. Like I said, I'm just a day trader, so I just take it box by box, like just one green box at a time. So anything like that. Aldrich, I'm in a short right now. Actually, I'm in a short from 10.4K right now. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this to slowly go down towards around this area here, and then I'll close my short and reassess from that point there. Most likely, I will turn it into a long because I do think that this is going to be holding. So I'll take a look at how the RSI and every indicator is. If it has a lot of strength, if it's forming some bullish formations, then we'll just switch it into a long. But right now I'm in a short. right now I'm a short from 10.4, this green box here, back to this, basically near this this green box on the downward here. And the reason I told you, the reason why I'm shorting it is because of this indicator. It's if you watched my video yesterday, you know that this is toppy plus RSI was insanely high, insanely high at that point at 10.4, right? So but I'm quite bullish overall, right? Like I said, after that monthly candle close, I was it changed. It's a macro change, so it's something that hasn't happened for so long, for years. So of course I was bullish. There's actually we want to talk about bearish divergence. Nikolai, there's actually no bearish divergence right now, at least no confirmed bearish divergence. So we cannot have bearish divergence, and I know a lot of people make that mistake. We cannot have a bearish divergence as long as the top is not confirmed. So as long as the top is not confirmed, we cannot call it bearish divergence. Potential bearish divergence, yes. Potential bearish divergence, yes. Confirmed bearish divergence, not yet. So we have to wait, and we can see it actually already starting to form on the 2-day chart. Let me show it to you on the 2-day chart. So this is the 2-day chart. Let's put it on the line. So what we are seeing here is basically this, where we're making a higher high on the price, but on the RSI we are making a on the RSI we are making a lower high. You can see it here. Here we can see we are making a lower high, but once again it's not confirmed, because of course if the price makes a higher price or something like that, then this bearish divergence is not confirmed, right? So we cannot confirm this bearish. There's potential bearish divergence, but it's not confirmed just yet. I'm not going to short all the way towards 9.8k because I think it's too dangerous right now. I am going to short it around 9.9, something like that, maybe even close to 10. I'll start taking profits already, 10k, because it's a psychological level. So I'm not too sure like that, but I don't think the retracement is going to be that big, to be honest. So yeah, 9.9, 10k or something like that. Just, you know, just take the profits and call it the day, and then reassess later on. I'm not too greedy on that part, because like I said, the market is very bullish right now, and everything is just pumping, right? So it's quite dangerous. Well, dangerous is a big word. It's quite dangerous to be in a position, but like I said, we are showing toppy on this indicator right now, so you know, I'm not that concerned just yet, but it can easily go up higher, right? It can make a higher high once again or something like that. Then I have to just stop my position. But if the price goes here above this price here, 10,250, it will automatically close my position as well. So then I'll just take the $150 spread that I have. That's my stop loss. So if the price goes back up to 10,250, a little bit higher, 10,255, something like that, then I'll just take my profits and call it a day as well. So if that happens, then it's just less profits, but I'm aiming towards somewhere around the 9.9 or the 10k, and I will tell you why in a minute as well. So what I do believe is that we are in the just our first sub wave right now on our fifth wave, and the fifth wave is always a big problem, because a fifth wave on Elliott wave can always be shorter, can always be you know, can always be truncated. That's what I hate about the Elliott waves. It can be so many possibilities that it looks great after it happens, but it's very hard to be trading it, right? So what did I tell you guys? One thing that you can be using on top of the Elliott waves is the Hurst cycles. So we can input that indicator here. So that those are the Hurst cycles. that I'm gonna be inputting here. And basically, the Hurst cycles is a little bit the same as the Bollinger Bands. So what we can see right now is the following. So we have a medium cycle and a short-term cycle. And as you can see right now, we are at the top of the medium cycle. As you can see here, this is on the left-hand side, the top of the medium cycle. And what I always look at is, of course, the slope. And as you can see right now, the slope is trending down. And obviously because the price is going down, and as long as the slope is trending down, usually what happens is the price always goes back to the previous cycles, right? So as you can see on the left hand side here, the short cycle top is at 9,832 right now. So that's basically what my green box is, or where I am aiming. As you can see here, 9,800 something like that. That's where I'm aiming to max the profit, and that's what the Hurst cycles are telling me. But obviously it changes with the price that is moving, but that's why I'm just taking it quite safely at 9.9 or something like that. That would be my target. And then what the short-term short cycle median is 9,357. So if we make a big correction, most likely if we break that top, we will enter back into the red band range basically, and then most likely we'll be ending up at 9,357. When is it? When are we in danger? Obviously, when we are breaking this bottom cycle here, which is currently at 8,900. So if we break that one, then most likely we'll be ending up towards near this cycle bottom of the medium cycle at around 7,371, as you can see. But obviously, like I said, I'm just using this to basically overlap and confirm my Elliott waves. And that's why Hurst cycles are pretty awesome because of that. Because as you can see here, if we were following it correctly with the Elliott waves, we can see here that the price usually hovers inside the band or the medium or the short-term cycles. As you can see here, it follows it very, very beautifully. And then the third wave, it usually is the longer wave, and it usually breaks out of the band, as you can see here, forms a top. And when it forms a top, we can see that it colors as red. It means, like, you know, top is basically forming. And then we can see that it goes back into our band or our cycles, and then it just follows the band. And once again, we have a push up once again towards the top of the cycle, the medium cycle, and that's basically confirms our first wave once again of our Elliott wave, right? So by putting the Hurst cycles on top of the Elliott waves, it gives us a way better indication on how to trade this than rather than using Elliott waves alone. So that's basically the reason why, after learning Elliott waves, I've learned Hurst cycles, and that's basically what you're seeing right now. So for guys that are interested in Elliott waves, please go ahead and learn Elliott waves. But after you've learned Elliott waves, I really strongly recommend you to learn Hurst cycles as well, because if you're just learning Elliott waves, it will be very hard to be trading it. It will be very nice after everything is done. You can make very nice pictures with Elliott waves, but you will be needing Hurst cycles to be improving your Elliott wave theory. Let's put it like that. Okay, so as you can see right now, it's curling a little bit down. So I do think that well, after such a big move, and the other indicator is showing us that that we are toppy, it means most likely we will have some form of retracement, right? So where are we? What are we looking at? Let's go back to our daily chart. What are we looking at? So our top of the range is obviously 10.4k, and then our bottom range, I would think 9.9, 10k area, something like that, right? So let's take a look at our expected moves, because we have crossed the 12-hour candle once again. Let's see. So, Very interesting. First standard deviation to the top side is 10,335. So yeah, our 10.4K range. And the first standard deviation to the bottom side is 9,903. What do you know? 9.9K or 10.350. So it's basically what kind of what I'm expecting. But the most interesting thing is probability that we are going up is actually still a little bit higher than going down. Hurst is H-U-R-S-T. H-U-R-S-T. Hurst. Yes. So yeah, basically the expected moves chart is basically telling me what I'm expecting. Let's take a look at the Stokes. Stokes are starting to curl down on the 12 hour. So most likely retracement, like I said, most likely retracement is in. But like I've explained also yesterday, maybe we'll get a small pullback, get support on this trend line that we've been forming and make another pushback up here and then make a full correction down. And that would mean, like I said, this would be 9.8, 9.9, 9.8K. This would be most likely 11.5, and this would most likely be 8.5, something like that, something crazy down. So basically, that's what I'm expecting. Once again, it's very long. It's a very long forward, but yeah, something crazy like that is what I think is going to be happening, because there's no way that that we're just going to keep going up or anything like that without there's just too much longing right now, and the whales are just going to see all of that FOMO coming in, and then it's just gonna be bam, the hammer of Thor down. That's basically what is going to happen. So we just have to be prepared for that. But that's kind of the movement that I'm expecting. Let's take a look at the RSI. RSI is still above the EMA, and as you can see, beautiful. It will cross down where below 9.9K. So kind of makes sense, right? Kind of makes sense. It's the one from Lazy Bear that I'm using. Lazy Bear. It has the most amount of likes. So the most popular Hurst in TradingView. Okay, let's go into our daily chart and see if we can see something interesting there. So daily, we can see, the Stokes. Let's take a look at the Stokes. Daily Stokes are still curling, are still ongoing and upwards. So pretty bullish, pretty bullish. And let's take a look at the RSI. RSI is curling down a little bit, but yeah, once again, it will only cross down if we go below 9,857. So yeah, like I said, do I think that we will go towards that 9.5? Sorry, not 9.5. Do I think that we'll go to like 9.4K ish, or our second Hurst level? This median level here, which at 9,357. Very, very unlikely. That's what I think, because it just makes our RSI completely cross down below the EMA, and I don't think the bulls are going to let that happen. Can it go back down to like 9,850, so towards our cycle top median line at 9,832, as you can see? That makes a lot more sense to me, right? So yeah, it's just probabilities. It's just whole analysis. My idea of that. So yeah, short term, do I think that we get a small pullback? Yes, I do think that we will get a small pullback. Is it going to be a lot? I don't think it's going to be that much. 9.9K ish, something like that, back into this this green box here. I'll actually move this green box a little bit higher right now, because this is support now instead of resistance. So I'll move it a little bit higher. So between here somewhere 9.8 to 9.880, something like that. So that would be my green box. Do I think that we go all the way down here towards our 9.3 or our other secondary Hurst? Maybe, but I just it just seems a little bit unlikely right now in this atmosphere or this hype right now. That's basically what I'm thinking. Oh, let's go on to our 4-hour short-term, very short-term momentum indicators to see if what is going on. And it's loading a long time because there's so many indicators apparently that it takes a long time for it to load. Hope everybody is doing well. Okay, so let's take a look at the Stokes. Oh, Stokes on the 4-hour chart still curling up, as you can see, still curling up, still positive. RSI still above everything. And where does it cross down? You've guessed it, 10K. 10K is where, but as you can see, the RSI is extremely high right now, so I do think that we will cross below the 10K for at least a little wick, a scam wick or something like that. Like I said, I think like 9.9K is kind of in the sweet spot, maybe a little bit, you know, that's basically what I'm thinking. Something that you definitely want to be checking out is of course the HVP, and we can clearly see that it's massively, so it went down, as you can see. Yesterday it went to single digit, and it flashed red after midnight, I think around like 2 a.m. My time, 2 a.m. it flashed red. So I kind of felt it already that something very big was going to be happening. And then yeah, as you can see, it now it's very red. It means the move is over, basically. I mean, the big move is over for now, for the upcoming for the upcoming, you know, day or something like that. But yeah, HVP was once again very correct. Let's put it like that. So yeah, what do I think? Short term, once again, short term, I still expect us to go slowly down around here to this area here, this green box. Do I think that we will be pushing up? Yeah, most likely we'll be pushing back up once again towards the top. So trader's perspective, well, I'm in a short right now, so I'm just gonna wait and close my position around here. If price does break this VWAP ratio here at 10,255, I will close my short position as well. Just take the $150 profit. When it's profit, it's profit. You should be happy. You should just be happy. So just take it. But where I've been very interested in longing, two areas basically. First area would be this area here, so around 850 to 99 area. Second area would be around 9.4K, or where our, so I'll move this green box actually a little bit lower now here, because this is now our new support here, and this was our resistance, right? Because we can see our wicks here, right? Wicks. Yes. So where am I interested in longing? This area here, this 9.9. I do think that most likely we won't break it, but there's always a chance that it breaks, right? It breaks, and but it depends on how fast we break it, right? If it's like a really slow motion thing, then I think it's fine. So least risk would be trying to be longing this area, right? Trying to be longing this area would be most likely the least risk, but I kind of feel that it's well, I will be analyzing it on a daily basis anyway, but I kind of feel that most likely we'll be already bouncing from this area. If you want to be extremely safe, then just wait until this breaks, the 10.555, whatever it is. If that breaks, just click that long button. Because most likely we'll be going towards 11.5K area. So yeah, those are basically the setups, the trading setups that I have for myself. And whatever happens, then whatever happens, right? That's basically it. Where would I immediately stop my position is below this EMA 21. If we start closing candles below it, so let's say this wick here, this beautiful two tops here, if we break those tops down, that will be my stop loss if I would be entering around this position here. So that gives us a very nice risk management as well, because if it breaks there, you know what I'm gonna say, just switch it over into a short, because most likely we'll be heading back down towards the low 8.8k, 8.6k area once again. And then as a trader, you're gonna make money anyways, so there's nothing to be so worried about. So right, it's nothing to be so worried about. Anyways, so this triangle, I am going to remove it because we already broke out of this triangle. I'm gonna leave this one because we are sort of forming something like this. Let's take a look. Let's make forming this sort of like this pennant that we are forming. So this pennant is what we are kind of forming. So I'm going to leave it here. So what I'm thinking is most likely we'll have this kind of structure where we go back down here and then move back one up here, something like this. And if we make a measured move of that whole structure, like I said, it should work out. Yeah. Measured move is sorry, why is it not straight? Measured move is yeah, somewhere near there, near the 11.5k. That's basically what it is. So yep, that's my thought for now. There's for people who are thinking that there's bearish divergence, there's potential bearish divergence, but there's no confirmed bearish divergence just yet. So for all the people who think that we're gonna go down because of the bearish divergence, it's not there yet. But it will get confirmed, obviously, if we form a local top. But that can still be ongoing for a couple more days before we can confirm it. So not there just yet, no bearish divergence just yet on any time frame for now, at least not confirmed. So that makes me a bullish person for now. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Waiting for a little pullback right now. Waiting for a little pullback, 9.9k, something like that. Most likely, well, depends on what is forming on the RSI. I'm gonna check if the RSI is making a nice support or a nice formation there. Then yeah, I think over the next couple of weeks we'll most likely be jumping up towards the 11.5k. I think that's where our destiny is, to be filling the CME gap. And then people who are so obsessed about CME gaps, they were like, you see, it is filled. CME gaps always gets filled. Well, sometimes it takes years before it gets filled, but anyways, it works out. Let's put it like that. But remember, there's always a gap on the bottom as well at 3.5k, something like that. So would it be don't you want that gap to be filled as well? maybe you want that to be filled as well. Anyways, yeah, like I said, if you've been following, if you've been Christopher, a lot of people are talking about exchange that can fail us. Yeah, exchanges can go down, exchanges can crash, exchanges can run away with your money. That's what exchanges are. That's what can happen, right? But that's the same with like any business or any bank, to be honest, as well, right? You can put your money in a bank, but if the bank goes broke, then most likely your money is gone. That's just how life works, right? If there's no risk, there is no reward, and if there's if you put your money in a sock and you lose your sock, then the money is gone as well. So I mean, I don't know. It's just shit happens, and shit happens a lot. But is there a high risk that the exchange is completely going to be gone? Not if you use a very good exchange, let's put it like that, or a trustworthy exchange, let's put it like that. But other than that, yeah, if you're using some small shitty exchange, and yeah, the risk is higher. That's just how it is. But yeah, who knows, right? Who knows? Anyways, short recap. In a short right now from 10.4k, well close to around 9.9k, maybe 10k already, depending on how things are looking. Because I don't want to take too much risk. Like I said, the big money move is really this move from 10.5k to around 11.5k, around $1,000 spread. So definitely more interested in that than any other move. Other than that, obviously the move to the downward side, if we break, like I said, if we break this 9.3k area, I do believe that we will quickly go down back to a lower 9k. So that's also a big move towards the downside, as well. So big moves are coming this month. So no matter if you're bullish or bearish, big moves are gonna be happening this month. It's just how it is. We have we're gonna have a big move. I do believe right now, because everything is more macro trend towards the upper side, towards this 11.5k ish area. It's actually, like I said, between 11.5 to 12k actually. So I'm just putting it in the middle, 11,750. Let's put it like that. 11,750 is what I do expect. But after that, oh my god, I think after that we're gonna have a very big correction. That's just what I think is going to be happening. And a lot of people will be like, god damn it, we bought at like 11.5k, Bitcoin is never going down anymore. We thought that it was gonna go to 20,000 immediately, and then they're gonna get the hammer of Thor down towards like 8.5k or something like that. Like, yeah, like I said, some $3,000 move, a little 30% correction by Bitcoin. That's what Bitcoin does. So like I said, take it from me. Just take it block by block, day by day. The most important thing, like I said, the most important thing is that you make money, even though your assessment can be wrong. You can be wrong plenty of times. But like I said, even though I was in a short, even though my personal bias was telling me that most likely we were going to head down first before we were gonna go up, I was wrong on that area. But in terms of making money and in terms of trades, that's what you have to do. Switching it on the right, finding the right green boxes, and then things will be fine. Okay, so yeah, that's my opinion for today. Small correction most likely, and then further moon. That's basically what I'm thinking. The FOMO is not over just yet. Oh yeah, maybe one more thing that I wanted to show you guys is the volume, right? The volume. So don't look at this, of course. So when I was doing my previous analysis, we can clearly see that the volume, while the price was slowly going up, well, not really slowly, when the price is going up, the volume is actually going down, which is not a bullish thing. And then obviously some giant whales went into and pushed it up. As you can see, the volume up, and that's created our spike here. But as you can see right now, volume is pushing back down right now. So one more, like I said, most likely we'll have some correction or some small retracement, and then, but yeah, I don't think the whales have enough right now. I do think that we will have some continuation towards the 11.5k area and fill that CME gap that we've been waiting for a long time. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's it for today. We're over 1 hour, and then my voice kind of becomes a little bit raspy. So yeah, still waiting right now. We'll close my position if we head back over 10,255. Close my short position there. If we from there, if we manage to somehow crazy enough break immediately the 10.555 area, then I'll just switch it into a long. If we go back to my expected areas around the 9.9k area, 9.8k area, something like that, we'll look into the indicators, but most likely we'll get into a long position from there as well. If not, a long position around this area here, our green box on the lower side, around 9.350, 9.4k, something like that, because we have the very defined risk management with our wick here, our 3 wicks, a beautiful 3 wicks here. If price does break below that 9.3k price or below those 3 wicks, then I'll most likely be switching it into a short. So that's basically the whole plan, right? So I hope you've had a great time for today, and hope to see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. Please like, comment, share, ask questions, whatever you want to do here on this channel. And then UK gap, the CME gap, is it really a gap because the market is open 24? No, the market is not open 24/7. UK DAB, CME only trades during working days, same as me. I only work during working days. I don't trade during weekends. That's the reason why I was so annoyed that I had my shorts going from Friday until Monday. But yeah, CME is not 24/7. CME is during it's only during working days. So yeah, hope to see you again tomorrow, guys. Stay safe, stay home.